study. Good. Let's start. And in this week, in Unit 15, we are mainly talking about at the corporate level strategy. And then I propose that there are different levels of the strategy. And then on the top, there must be a supranational or the global strategy. And then under the global strategy, there must be the national level strategy, national innovation strategy, something. And then below that, there is an industrial level strategy. And below the industrial level, the strategy, there must be a corporate level strategy. We are mainly talking about this corporate level. And then below the corporate level, there must be the team level strategy. Team, okay? Absolutely, under the team, there must be an individual level strategy. Why we need to define the level of the strategy? Because we want to hit the point to make an impact. So if you want to formulate the strategy, you'd better to start with defining a level of the strategy. If you want to make a change, if you want to manage, if you want to win over your competitor in the level of the global strategy, global market, you need to make a global strategy. And then we will talk about the global strategy next week. Global strategy, and there is another industrial level strategy, and mainly that is done by the policymakers. And then if you grow as a CEO or the business decision makers, probably at least you can make an impact on the corporate level strategy. Now, that's the reason why I want to talk about the corporate level strategy and team level strategy and the individual level strategy. You define, okay? Anyway, so you learned about the individual level strategy and the team level strategy, a little in the OB or HR field of something, okay? Anyway, so in the strategy management, I want to introduce the corporate level strategy. Okay, good. So we talk a little about the corporate level strategy last class. Very complex things. We have tons of thousand corporate strategy. Okay. However, maybe you cannot remember, and you cannot number how many corporate strategies we have. However, what if we can understand that the main purpose of the corporate strategy, maybe we can be more flexible to use or to adapt or to apply tons of different strategies. A long story short, the purpose of the corporate strategy is win without fighting. I know, but however, more specifically speaking, the main purpose of the corporate strategy is to achieve the sustainable growth of your business, your organization, your corporate growth. Okay. And then, last class, we talk a little about it. Okay, so between the maximizing the profit or achieving the sustainable growth, and many of the business problem solvers choose maximizing the profit. No, we business problem solvers, especially for the management, we choose sustainable growth. Because we want to make our business more sustainable, that create more values. Time is matter. If you major the finance or the accounting, maybe you may focus on the short term, maximizing the profit. But however, we business problem solvers, we management. You are now taking the strategy management course, not the finance and the accounting. I hate them. The strategy management. Okay. In the perspective of the strategy management, our main goal of the business operation is, strategy application is, we want to achieve sustainable growth, because that's much more important than squeezing or maximizing the profit in short. Really, we are much more interested in the growth, sustainable growth. Okay, whatever. So that's our understanding about the growth, the corporate growth. And then we learned about it. Okay, so there are two types of the growth. If we want to work hard, if we work really hard to produce that new product innovation or operation excellence or the capacity expansion, maybe we can grow internally. I know this is important. I know this is important. However, we are looking for the growth. We are looking for the growth. And then, in that case, we mainly apply M&A. We buy businesses from outside of the market. That's how we make a continued growth. Okay, so then we talk a little about it. Okay, so if you want to get A, what do you do from a course? Anybody will say like this, oh yeah, we need to work hard. We need to work hard, okay? However, let's think about it. If you want to grow as a leader, business leader, what should you do? Anybody will think about it, just work hard? Really? Work hard can give you a creation of the human capital. However, the human capital is just a small part of something. We need a social capital. We need something else, something else, something else. We need to get connected with some outside of our world. Then we always looking for the outside, what's going on, and then what should I eat to eat to survive. Unfortunately, if you do not eat anything, you cannot grow. It's simple. Business is same. Don't you think so? How the Tencents grow? Tencents. Yeah. So what is the first business of the Tencent? In China, what is the first business? What is the first product or service of the Tencent? QQ, okay. And however, no, not WeChat. QQ, okay. And then which one is bigger, QQ or WeChat? Now, how Tencent changed the QQ service to the WeChat? They just work hard. They produce that new product innovation, operation excellence capacity. No, they bought. They bought the business. Okay, another case is, okay, so another global case, Google. Okay, and what is the first service of the Google? Do you remember? Still, that is one of the most valuable service of the Google, searching. And however, which business is now making the biggest profit? Google nowadays. Absolutely, that's the advertisement, marketing and advertisement. What is the second largest profit maker, cash cow? Cash cow of the Google. YouTube. Do you think think that the Google developed a YouTube? No. Google bought YouTube. And Google is now leading a lot of the artificial intelligence research and applications. And how do they do that? Google bought AlphaGo. And Google bought a lot of things. And those kind of the services and the product, it become their main cash cows. Future. How the Google grow throughout buying? We call that is a merger and acquisition. Absolutely, we need to work hard, but however, in order to grow, we need searching for outside of the best businesses, and we must take it, we must eat it. To eat, to survive, to eat, to grow. Absolutely. To eat, to grow. Just remember, business grow throughout eating others. So M&A is one of the best strategy and the most popular strategy to make a sustainable business growth, corporate strategy. Absolutely, and there is a small part of the strategy alliance. We will keep talking. Anyway, how to grow? And there is in general, okay? In general, so maybe you know this, okay? Diversify, diversification. Diversification, diversify, diversification. Okay, so maybe you learn this kind of the diversification strategy from the in the finance or accounting courses. If you want to avoid any risk, okay, so you need to diversify your portfolio. Don't put all the eggs in the one basket like this, okay? Let's see. Okay, so that is this, diversifying the risk averse, cost reduction something, good. Okay, and then maybe you learn this kind of things. Okay, so if the stock price is going up, bond price is going down, and if the bond price is going up and the stock price is going down, so you must combine these two in order to minimize the risk of thing, minimize the risk, and then normalize this sustainable profit. That's your learning, right? From your finance courses. So many times we propose that the diversification strategy to make a better, sustainable, and risk-averse portfolio. Portfolio management, financially. But that's the finance and accounting. That's finance and accounting. If you have enough resource, that makes sense. Diversification strategy makes sense. But however, let's imagine you are a small startup. Can you do it? Can you exercise that portfolio management? No. What can you do? What should you do in order to make the business grow? Focus and the differentiated firms. That is this. Warren Buffett and Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest guys in our history, in human history, they suggest this. Keep all your eggs in one basket and manage that. That's fine. We just focus. So my saying is, even though you learned this kind of the diversification strategy from the finance or the scientific something, but however, I want to say you must make your own choice. You sometimes need this. Many times, I think, not sometimes. If you got a job in a large corporations, maybe you need this. However, if you start your business or if you're working for a small startups, you need to exercise this. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make any choice. It's your hand. It's your choice. Only one problem is, please manage that. Manage that well. That's all. Management. Strategy management. Okay? And this is one of the example of mine, actually, that this is of mine. Okay? And I worked for the Dow Chemical. And the Dow Chemical was merged by the somebody. Okay. And however, still the Dow Chemical is one of the largest chemical company in the world. And then because that they have enough resources and the Dow Chemical is one of the largest chemical company, they diversified all their product. Diversified like this. There is a cash cow like this, bulk plastic, or the paint, or the fertilizer, or the fibers. That's their main core cash cow. However, they are investing their money into the textile, chemicals, food additives, or something because that make more that's profitable. But however, relatively small volume. Okay, that's a star. That's becoming a star. On the other hand, there is potential. There is a potential. We don't know that is getting bigger or the better. But however, there must be a potential, like engineering plastic, MTBE, or the frame retarding something, and the paper, or the ceramics, or the catalyst, or the filters. We don't know. And however, they also have question marks. Who knows? Okay, carton, fibers. For example, nowadays we need to produce a lot of the filter, okay? Because in order to make a mask, the dental mask or the medical mask, in order to make a medical mask, okay? So what do we need? We need good quality of the filter, carton. That is come from here. So now many chemical companies are now producing and they make a lot of money throughout making and producing filter and carton or on other things. We didn't expect that. But we can be hedged. Okay, so that maybe you can learn about you can remember the hedging strategy, risk hedging strategy. We call that as a risk hedging. Okay, so maybe you learn that kinds of things, of risk hedging throughout the diversification or the portfolio management from the finance. Oh yeah, absolutely, we can use that. If you are big enough, if you have enough resources, you can do it. Okay. Hedging and so then okay, whatever. So that is okay. So portfolio, good. And then, however, we need to continually changing this kind of the portfolio in order to make it more profit, in order to risk more hedging, in order to, according to your strategic decisions, in order to make your business more grow. So that how we can change this kind of the portfolio structure or the business model or the changing something and going into the new business quickly, something like that. How we can do it throughout this? No. If to go into a business, profitable business or the promising business quickly, you'd better to buy something. You'd better to buy a business. We call that as a M&A. M&A. If we want to organize and managing this kind of the very complex portfolio, we'd better to sell our business, or we'd better to buy a new business throughout the M&A. We can restructure up this portfolio. We can play with this. Okay, good. So then, M&A, why we business guys, why the corporate, why the companies buy and sell a lot of businesses? Why? There are a few number of the reasons. First, if I want to go into a product or the market or the services quickly, speed is matter. So then I'd better to buy a company. Google bought YouTube many years ago, and then the YouTube is becoming the one of the largest video provider, and Google is becoming the one of the largest content providers in the world throughout buying the YouTube. Okay, good. Second, in order to gain access to the complementary skills and the resources, resources, what kinds of resources? People resources, human resources. We call that as a human capital. Okay, and then, okay, so why Google bought AlphaGo? Why? Why Google bought AlphaGo? To buy the artificial intelligence? No. To buy people at the Google AlphaGo. What is the best way to get the best talent? Oh, just buy them. Just buy the people. It's possible. We can buy people. Absolutely. What the Google AlphaGo is now doing, they are producing a lot of the Google artificial intelligence. Okay. However, do you know that who is now leading those kind of the invention of the advanced Google artificial intelligence? Who was the CEO and the founder of the AlphaGo? Google gave him a chance to access any kinds of resources, to give him tons of $1,000 million, to give him a chance to devote himself to world best artificial intelligence. Why not? Google gave him a best chance. And happily, the Google AlphaGo founder, he is still working for Google. But he is working for AlphaGo. Any lose? No. Both are happy. Google take the best human capital, and then the AlphaGo leader, and they are happy to work for their mission. That's how we make business. That's how we make business. We can buy people many times. In order to restructure your business portfolio, you'd better to buy the best people. If I can buy the best people, I will pay tons of $1,000 million. They are valuable. If I can get the best artificial intelligence engineer in the world, I will do it. If I can take the world best quantum computing scientists and engineers, I will buy. If I can take the world best managers, I will buy. That's how we make the business bigger. Don't be afraid. The main purpose of the buying a company, mainly more than 60 or the 70% of the M&A deals, is to take the human capital. Mainly, really. Recently, that's getting more higher. People do not, the business do not buy the business. Business usually buy their people. A few number of the business leaders. It's getting more serious. Really. Okay, good. And the third one is, in order to achieve that the economy of scale throughout the combination. Economy of scale, we don't need to duplicate something. cost reduction, okay, and reshape the portfolio structure through the product and the service consolidation. Dow Chemical plus and the BASF something, and they merge it, and then they kill many duplicated businesses in order to reduce the cost. Cost reduction, and the increasing revenue, to increasing revenue purpose, to decreasing cost factors. No matter what, we business problem solvers, we are looking for the increasing revenue, decreasing cost at the same time. That's what we are doing. Okay, good. And however, here is a problem. M&A is totally risky. M&A is totally risky. Okay. Did you learn about the valuation? You learned about the valuation and then the finances. Finance something. Did you learn the valuation? How to make a merger and acquisition? Finance 32. Hulda, did you check the finance 32? Sorry, something, 32, sorry, something. Xia, Xia, Xia. No. Eudora, did you took the finance? Chance a video comes. Hey, hello, my boy. Where is David? Yeah. Where is boys? Who is here? Ada. Yeah, Samsung. Okay, so that, yeah, finance 30, 20. Okay, so do you remember the M&A? How to make a, do you remember M&A? How to make a M&A? No. Maybe you learn about how to evaluate. You may learn about the valuation. Error? Absolutely. So who can remember that? Okay. Is there anybody who remember the valuation? Probably no. That's too, yeah, that must be very complex equations, right? Very complex equations, and the CAPM model based something, Black-Scholes probably, and the plus and another things, and the valuation, and the RWG and the RVACC or the WACC plus something. Okay, who cares? Unfortunately, yeah, dude, I am the management teacher, not a finance teacher. Yeah, even though that, yeah, my major at the MBA program was strategy and the finance. Okay, I do not remember the valuation equation because I use a lot of that kinds of things to make a deal by using the artificial intelligence or the Excel. That's fine. Anyway. M&A. In order to make an M&A, we need to define our price of the company, price of the business. Okay, that is the process of the valuation, and we use those kind of very complex equations. But that means that okay, we try our best to make a best M&A deal, but we fail. Why? Why we fail in M&A? For example, this is somewhat old, and according to Copeland and the valuation, and then more than 61% is totally fail. Of the M&A is a totally fail, and the 16% we don't know. and only 20% can be reported as a successful M&A. That was 1994. However, recently in 2014, the failure ratio is increasing according to the Wall Street, according to Forbes. And then we recently, especially for the advanced technology companies, the failure ratio of the M&A is higher than the 83%. More than 83% of the M&A deal is totally fail. But we never stop making an M&A deal. Why? Why we fail in M&A? And why we do not stop? Let's think about it. Okay, and why we do not stop buying the business? Because every time the business itself is changing. We need to change our portfolio in order to searching for this growth. Okay, again, to grow. If we do not take any businesses, new businesses, we cannot grow. That's the reason why we take many businesses continually. No eating, no growing. Even though that is a bad deal, whatever, we must take something. Oh yeah, that sounds crazy. I know, but we need to do it. That's a business. What do you expect from the business? Okay, good. And why M&A is failing? Why M&A is failing? Yeah, we are using a lot of the advanced portfolio analysis and the valuation techniques, artificial intelligence, management information systems, and a lot of the advanced managerial techniques, accounting, finance, and a lot. And the most brilliant mind, the most brilliant people, they are trying their best to make the success, but fail. More than 83% of M&A deals fail. Why we fail? Because we are not good at the mathematical calculations, analysis? No. Absolutely no. Who make business? Computer? Artificial intelligence? Who make the final choice? People. Who make the business? People. We, human beings, make a business. So, as a human being, we make a mistake. Absolutely. We make a mistake. We are human beings. Then we fail in M&A like this. Maybe, do I have enough time? Yeah, just short. Okay, just short. Share the application. Give me a second. Okay, good. Yeah. Hey, come on. Come on. Okay. Can you see this video? I will turn on.
In these cases, 1 + 1 almost equaled 0. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most disastrous mergers in business history.
I did it with as much or more excitement and enthusiasm as I did on that night when I first made love some 42 years ago.
For this list, We only considered mergers where the two parties were more or less of equal size, or where the deal was at least billed as a merger of rough equals. That means we excluded acquisitions where a much larger company acquired a smaller company. Number 10, Excite and At Home.
Okay, maybe there are 10 differences.
Firm Kleiner Perkins
Then
concerned
I
about
need to
increasing
show.
competition and Time Warner.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no. No.
Less than 2 years later, the company lost $30 billion
The worst to
and
M&A
was
deal.
selling non-strategic assets, while the Bronfmans experienced one of the biggest losses by a single family ever. Number 1, AOL and Time Warner. It's been called the worst merger ever and the single biggest mistake in corporate history.
The merger of the number one internet company with the number one media company will bring together the best of both worlds.
After Time Warner merged its old school print media with AOL's new school digital content for $164 billion, the dot-com bubble burst. Add AOL's reliance on dial-up internet in an increasingly high-speed industry, and AOL Time Warner was reporting a $99 billion loss in 2002. A rapidly declining stock price and millions in lost jobs and subscribers forced Time Warner to spin AOL off into an independent company 7 years later. Do you agree with our list? Which do you think was the most disastrous merger ever? Be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com for more entertaining top 10s.
Okay, that is the worst case of the M&A deal in our history, and that costs around $160 billion, and they are totally burnt out. Those $160 billion was totally burnt out because they totally failed. It happens. It happens. Really. Why we failed in making a M&A deal? Why we failed in buying the best company? And we call that is a winner's curse. Winner's curse. The winner will tend to overpay, winner's curse. And then many times that you know this word, people might win a small battle, but however they lose their war. And that comes from the art of war. You must win over the war, not a small tiny battles. We are still talking about a strategy, M&A deal. Why M&A fail? Because we are human beings. Even though we are totally weaponed by that, the artificial intelligence, Excel, advanced valuation guys, and the quant expert or the genius, MIT graduate, we fail. Because the business decision makers, we make a mistake based on this. Over-optimistic appraisal of the market potential. I want to believe if I buy this business, this business will be getting bigger, and that they make a lot of money for me. For example, Google bought a robot company. Robot company? Did you know that? Do you know the Google Boston Dynamics? They are one of the most advanced robot system maker. Is the Boston Dynamics, and the Google bought the Boston Dynamics with tons of $1 million, and that's around $8 or $9 billion, whatever. And that was one of the most expensive M&A deal of the Google. But however, they failed, and they just sell them out. Google sold out the Boston Dynamics a few years ago. That's totally failed. Because the Google just over-optimistic in appraising, in assessing the robot market potential. Unfortunately, robot industry is more than the 80 years of the best potential. Do you know that I was a robot engineer? Yeah, I was a control engineer. Yeah, who developed a few number of the robots. But But however, yeah, in my age, and more than 40 years ago, or more than 20 years ago, and still the robot system was quite promising, but that never be exercised. Robot. Everybody talks about the robot. What the hell is the robot? Science and engineering gigs, but however, there is no market. Do you know who is the largest robot maker in the world? Maybe nobody knows. Fana, the Japanese company. And what is the second largest robot company? Festo. Nobody knows. Overestimate the potential. We make a mistake. Okay, and the overestimation of the synergy. 1 plus 1 becomes 2. Not much. 1 plus 1 becomes 1. Maybe. Or 1 plus 1 become the 1,000. I hope so, but maybe no. More than 80% of the 1 plus 1 is becoming smaller than the 1, not 2. It's interesting, but however, that's my observation. 1 plus 1 must be 2, right? However, in business, when we buy a new business, 1 plus 1 becomes smaller than the 2, and that's becoming smaller than 1 many times. I don't know. There are a lot of the issues, but however, that's true. Many times that why we make the M&A deal in order to reduce the cost. Okay, so what is the meaning of the reduce the cost? We fire a lot of people. We restructure a lot of the portfolio. That means we want to make it more profit, not growing. Okay, whatever. And overbidding due to the pressure to the cross deal. Don't be stupid. Okay, don't be afraid, and don't be pressurized. And ineffective use of the outside advisor. For example, I was an advisor. I was a business consultant, and I was invited by the mid-size of the group in Korea, Ungjin, whatever. And they wanted to buy a construction company. That's really big. And then they invite me as an outside advisor, as a business consultant, and I was hired. And then they paid a lot of money for me to do those kind of things. And I work hard. However, my decision was don't buy the construction company because that's too risky. And then there are a lot of the hidden debt we cannot access. In Kazakhstan, in Uzbekistan, in Turkey, in somewhere, and that company has a very, very, very high debt. We don't know. Simply, we don't know. And that's totally sunken cost. And personally, as an external business consultant, I propose them, hey, don't buy. That would make a big trouble. And however, what happened? They fired me. Get out. They listen whatever they want to listen from the outsiders. They misuse me. They do not listen the outside voice. What happened? After 3 years of taking that money, taking that construction company, that company totally bankrupted. They do not listen outsiders. It happens a lot. And the final one is a poor post-acquisition integration. That's management. Okay, this company, combine, merge it, and then what should we do? We should make a chemical bond, synergy. But is it easy? No, it's not easy. For example, okay, so let's make an example. What is a good example? Recently, what is that? Hire. Okay, so do you know the Hire? And the Hire bought the GE home appliances. Chinese company bought American company. What is happening? G Home appliances do not follow the higher way. Make a lot of trouble. Really? Post-merging, they do not. And then, what if you are a higher manager? What if you are a higher manager? And then, how can you manage that stupid American engineers? Can you manage them? How can you manage the stupid American engineers who worked at the company for more than 30 years? Can you manage? Do you think that is it easy? No. Yeah, just guess. Okay, so I was an engineer. Yeah, you know that I was a stupid engineer. And can you give me a second? Okay, can you manage me? Yeah, a stupid Korean engineer. Probably not easy. Yeah, you must do it. But that will not be easy. Don't you think so? How can you make me work? Give me a second. Yeah, give me an idea. How can you make me work? Any idea? How can you make a stubborn engineer work? Any idea? Yeah, okay, but how about I do not work for money? I have enough money. And that's not a big deal. I worked in the industry for more than 25 years, and I will be retiring soon. But how about, yeah, I have enough money. I have my car, I have my home, I have my family, and that's okay. And then the money is not a deal. Even though you give me more than 10 times of the salary, that's my choice. Know what you want. What do I want? As a seasoned engineer. So, I just want to say, not easy to manage outsiders. Okay? When we take over the company, they are totally outsiders, right? Then we must be skillful in managing insiders and outsiders together. Is it easy? Can you manage the Chinese employees and the Korean employees and the American employees? Tons of thousand conflict, tons of thousand argument, tons of thousand error, mistakes. But we must do it. Because we are business problem solver, we must be able to manage that. Okay? Is it easy? No, not easy, but we must do it. That's our job. Anyway, so a long story short, the main purpose of the M&A is to attain and achieve the synergy. 1 plus 1 is larger than 2 plus alpha. 1 plus 1 equal to 2 plus alpha. Alpha is the synergy. Alpha is the synergy. And how we can make a synergy? Leveraging core competencies. We combine the people together, make a one team. Can make a more stronger team, and the sharing the activities, economy of scale to reduce the cost, and the market power, making a more dominant. dominant market dominant power. Why? To increase revenue, to reduce the cost. That's our purpose. If we can create the more bigger synergies, we can achieve the increasing revenue and decreasing costs. How? Increasing sales, increasing market share, new market. How we can reduce the cost? This. Throughout R&D, manufacturing, marketing, okay, value chain, and throughout the optimizing and then increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of the each value chains, we can reduce the cost. For example, what if we merge two companies' R&D? Maybe if we can combine, if we can synergize these two R&D. For example, what if we can combine the Huawei and WeChat, Huawei and Tencent? We may create a better product or services throughout synergizing the hardware engineers and the software engineers together. If we can create a synergy, that reduces our R&D cost. Like this, if we can create a synergy, we can reduce the cost from each value chain. Okay, and there is an example of the GE and the GE's post-merger acquisition activities, probably. And then other forms of the diversification, there is a strategy alliance. M&A is the most active strategy, and then, however, there is a more soft interventions or the soft strategies to make external growth. Okay, M&A is the most active one, and there is a soft something like a strategy alliance, joint venture, Shanghai Dazhong, Shanghai Volkswagen. Okay, and however that will be gone. That will be joint ventures, and the minority something technology licensing, R&D partnership, equity swap, and the business swap. Okay, however, I expect, this is my personal expectations, after this coronavirus issue, China will have no chance to do soft intervention. No strategic alliance with external partners. No joint ventures with external investors. No minority equity something. No technology licensing. No long-term supply something. R&D partnership. No! I expect that. That means China will encounter very tough business situation. I expect that. That's my personal expectation. But however, I bet, because something is now happening outside of China, as an external guy, maybe I can tell you something bad, some bad things is now happening. So there will be no soft interventions, and then no soft intervention, no soft strategy alliance, joint ventures will be accessible for Chinese business. So you may need to focus on hostile M&A more. You must buy with optimal pricing. That will be the only one way to grow, I think. So things are getting more tough. You will encounter more tough business problems. In any situation, we must be able to increase revenue. In any situation, we must reduce the cost. That will not be easy. Okay, but we must be strong enough to overcome that challenge. That's the reason why we are learning. That's the reason why you are learning about a strategy management, in order to win without fighting. Okay, don't be afraid. You can make it. If you fail, that's not good. Anyway, there is a strategy alliance. Forget it. That will not happen in China. Strategy alliance, not much. Probably no. You'd better to be more aggressive. Increase revenue, decrease cost. I hope, but that will not happen. Diversification, I hope. And then absolutely trust is matter, but however, that will not be easy for China. And then what is the consequence of the M&A? Just a few number of the oligarchy, just a few number of the, just a few number of the brand or the companies are surviving throughout merging. So that's becoming oligarchy. Economy. We call that is oligarchy economy. Maybe you remember that. Monopoly or oligarchy. We, business guys, we buy a lot of businesses in order to secure our oligarchy power or the monopoly power. That's our purpose. We want to dominate our market. We are angels? Unfortunately, no. We are devils. We are evil. Automotive industry, consumer good industry, and this is a media industry. Disney, CBS, NBC, those three guys, and then nowadays, and the Disney. Do you know that the Marvel was merged by Disney? Do you know that? Marvel was merged by the Disney, and the Captain America and the Iron Man was merged by the Mickey Mouse. Really? That's how we are living. Interestingly, and the many news media was merged by, and they are the part of the Disney, ESPN, CNN, and the MTV, CBS, and the HBO, whatever. We are totally dominated by just a few number of the oligarchies. You need to fight against with the big giant. Who is your competitor? Giant. These guys. Volkswagen, BMW, Fiat, P&G, Nestle, Kraft, Coca-Cola merged by the PepsiCo, whatever. Merged? No, not merged. However, there is another deal. Unilever, Johnson & Johnson, Kellogg. You are a competitor. Giant. You are tiny small. Really? Please aware whom you are fighting against. But don't worry. We must use our strategy in order to win without fighting to win over these competitors. Okay, grow. And there is the the hostile takeover strategies, green mail, golden parachute, poison pill, whatever. We have tons of thousand something. But however, in this week, I just want to summarize. Please know your enemy. Your enemy is global giant. They can crush you. And I expect the business situation of China is getting more tough because the giant is now arising. They will kill you. They want to kill the Chinese business. You must survive. You must be able to fight. You must survive. Okay. Okay, but Robert, I believe in you. You are smart enough. I wish. Okay. Please help your people. How? Focus on basic things. Increase revenue, decrease cost. No matter what. Okay. Okay, and that is almost all of the corporate finance, corporate level strategy. And however, personally, I can show that the more than 300 different corporate strategies. Yeah, I have no chance. Hey, how can I say? Whatever. Okay. So if you have any questions after graduation, okay, so maybe you can contact me. Hey, professor. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, can you help me? Yeah, absolutely. I will help you. Okay, whatever. So far, that is all today. Any question? And so far, so good. Okay, good. And can I see you next Monday? No. Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Okay. And next week is the final week of the live teaching. Okay, good. And I will see you next week. By the way, so the homework assignment until today. That's a assignment of 13. 13 or 14? 14. 14. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah. 14. Yeah. Okay. Good. Then I will see you next Tuesday. Got it? Okay. Yeah, bye. Bye, Nancy. Bye, Aurora. Bye, Vanessa. Bye, Hulda. Hulda, bye. Bye, Nancy. Who is that? Oh, Crystal, bye. Joran, bye. Stephanie, bye. Mandy, Nancy, yeek. Virgo, bye. Hey, boys. Chauncey, bye. Ada, bye.